this. But I'm going to take the risk because this is a history that I have a lesson with my wife. When I went to my honeymoon, we decided to start doing something that it was really risky. You know, we are becoming, you know, my wife, like, you know, the high speed, the exciting things. But 10 years ago, I was like, you know, afraid of it. But, you know, we decided to, in place of going to the beach, which I became from a sunny country, I'm coming from Venezuela, we decided to go to Bariloche in Argentina, which is, you know, to take skiing classes. So when I went there, she was really excited about it, but I wasn't. But I need to show her that, you know, I was there because I like that. So, you know, I take the camera and I put my ski things on it. So when I tried to do that, you know, she was totally on it. She was doing it because she knows how to do it, but I didn't know. So when I tried to do that, you know, I passed half of the time trying to ski 2 steps. But she was having so fun that I was there like, yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, I'm loving it. Yeah, you're having fun. Yeah. So she went there to the mountain. She started going up, and then when I tried to get in the thing, you know, the guy who was there, was an Argentinian. He told me, you know what? Don't sit on the thing. Don't take a seat. So what was the thing that I did? I sit on it. So when I sit, you know, it took me just 1 minute to go there, into the snow. So when I was in the snow, I stayed there during 10 minutes, trying to release my foot with the skis. You know, I ran the cheapest thing to stay here. I was wearing jeans. So I was really, you know, wet. So it was really, but then one time, because I have 30 seconds, so at that moment I told her, you know what, I'm going to stay here taking some photos. Okay, do it. So in that camera we have the whole honeymoon photos. So here's the lesson. I stayed there, and she went to the car, to the up of the mountain, and she asked me, you know what, you're going to take a photo from me when I'm going down. Okay, I'm going to do that. At some point, she started going down, and I dropped the camera. So when I dropped the camera, I lost my mind. Because I was starting making rounds like, I lose the camera, I lose the camera. Where's the camera? I started panic. So when she came to me, I have another Polaroid camera. I took a picture, but a big picture like this. And she's a kind of point with it. So, but when I was there turning around me, she asked me, what happened with you? You know, I lose the camera, I lose the camera, I lose the camera. Where's the camera? I lose the camera, I lose the camera. So she acts like really intelligent. She went to, you know, the little house which is there with hot coffee, and she asked for it, and somebody some kind person brings the camera. So I was safe for her. So the lesson that I learned from that time, and it was 10 years ago, is, you know, don't panic when you are in a kind of weird situation. Like that. So it could happen when you are in front of somebody, like everybody here should be, you know, confronting all the time. When you are trying to coach people, it could be pretty, you know, weird. So I just want to share that with you guys. You know, I'm in front of you, and thank you to hear me.
I'm going to start off with one sentence, and I'll tell you a lot about myself, and end off with that sentence. The sentence is, actualize your dream, but don't fall asleep doing it. Okay, so I've lived in 17 different houses, 3 different cities, no, 3 different countries, and I'm living in a house now that I've lived in for 10 years, but that's the most I've ever lived anywhere. I've moved around spoke different languages, but the one thing that remained constant was soccer. From a young age, my dad had George Best shirts, so I followed Manchester United religiously. And, I'll tell you a little bit about it. So from a young age, I played soccer, and I used to think to myself, I want to score. But I couldn't, because I didn't have a good kick. But I could defend quite well. And I realized, whenever I went into a situation, I thought about how I played on the field, and what I was on the field. On the field, I was always a defender who had a really good kick, who actually was able to score at a much later point, but I can never be forward because I was too big. So, time went on, and I started coaching. I coached kids soccer for 8 years. And I was able to make kids really, really motivated. A lot of kids lost weight. A lot of kids played well together, but they couldn't score because the coach couldn't score. So I couldn't teach them how to do it. Well, I was born in England, never drove in England, visited many times. Went to a game here and I saw David Beckham. I shouted out his name because when I started coaching, I learned how to shout. Otherwise, I'm soft-spoken. But I said, hey, good job, Beckham. My buddy bought me front row seats. He looked at me and smiled. We have a picture to prove it. I dream about Manchester United players. On the field, they're having, like a group-type dinner session with them. And I'd said to myself, when I go to England, I'm going to go watch a game. Never drove. Got there, took the red-eye flight, woke up, 5 o'clock in the morning. I'd driven on the M25 on a Friday afternoon on the wrong side of the road. And, yeah, thank you. And I thought this was peace, but apparently, apparently it isn't. Right? So I learned that quite quickly. Got into my car, drove 4 hours north to Liverpool. And I used to work for BlackBerry at the time. So as I walked around, I zipped up my jacket, so I'd come back alive. Was sitting right behind the other team's, right behind the goalkeeper. Watched the game intently, pictured myself on the field. I was the defensive midfielder or the offense or the central defender. They scored once. I followed my dream, and I fell asleep when he got the goal. Oh!